baby, but I want to get out there. Hold on, did it? I called him. I said, I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'm glad we got security. Sit right there. Hide in the bathroom. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. We'll now begin to open our special meeting of council. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. Time now is 5:30. I'll ask everybody to rise. Please remove your hats. We'll have a prayer for Councilman Wright, followed by Pledge of Allegiance from Vice Chair Davidson Clay.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day and this time, Lord. We just thank you so much for this great county that you let us be a part of. Most of all, Lord, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, and the blood that was shed, that we can know that we have eternal life through him. And Father, I thank you so much for every concerned citizen here. I thank you for their passion and their love for this community, Lord. I thank you for these people that stand behind this desk for me and their passion to serve. I pray that you lead and guide us as we go through this meeting. That every decision made here today will be what's best for this county. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I'll turn the floor over to Madam Clerk for roll call.
District 1, Dave Wright.
Present.
District 2, John Glenn.
Present.
District 3, David Sinclair.
Present.
District 4, Amy Smith. Present. District 5, Carolyn Rusher.
Present.
District 6, John Flett.
Present. Ms. Carolyn, do you have something for us?
I do. I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda, to add executive session to discuss EMS and the airport commission.
I understand we have a motion to enter into an executive session. We have a second from Councilperson Sinclair. Are there any questions? All those in favor with roll call? District 1?
No, all in favor?
A roll call.
Oh, yes, yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6? Yeah. Okay, that is unanimous. That will be added to the end of the meeting. The first item we have is to review billing tuition assistance program and consider transferring funds not to exceed $19,240 from economic.
Supervisor, I got a question. You talking about the end of this meeting or the end of the budget session?
No, the end of this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, for clarification, that way we'll start with budget workshop immediately after. But transfer not to exceed $19,240 from the Economic Development Fund 301 for the purpose of paying an invoice from USC Union. A little history: in 2016, Council voted to create and fund the tuition assistance program to the tune of $65,000 a year. The purpose of this was to have any student that graduated from Union County High School or the Union County Day School that had a 3.0 or higher to attend two-year school in Union, a higher education, be it Spartanburg Community College or USC Union, for tuition free. In other words, we would pay the difference in the tuition. That fee was increased in 2019 to $150,000. But in 2022, due to COVID, the technical program was allowed to have funds that offset any tuition from the Spartanburg Community College or from technical school. So we have not received a bill from Spartanburg Community College until this spring. Council had budgeted this year $50,000, and we provide reimbursement, first come, first served. USC Union received their fall. They also have we've received their invoice for their spring semester, and Spartanburg Community College has also sent a bill, and we are $19,240 shy. And I'm making a recommendation to council that you fund that balance out of 301 fund, which was the original fund that would be used to pay for this at this time.
Motion to pay, increase it and take it out of 301 fund.
I have a motion from Councilman Flood.
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Sinclair and a third from Councilman Bryant. Are there any questions to this? Any questions? Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Correct. I do have a letter from Ms. Smith recusing herself as she is an employee from USC. So it is 5-1 with one recusal. The next item we have is for council to authorize us to advise our attorney to create, execute, and deliver a fee in lieu of agreement between Union County and Voltage Midway LLC. This is really procedural only. It allows us to tell our attorneys to go and create a document that will be sent out public for review, and it allow our May 12th public hearing to proceed as a true public hearing. Do I have a motion to accept?
I make a motion that we table this project for further information.
I have a motion to table. There shall be no seconds, there shall be no other conversation other than I ask for a second. I ask for a second. I have a second. We'll go immediately to vote. Roll call vote, Ms. Clerk.
District 1, Dan Wright.
Yes.
District 2, John Glenn.
Yes.
District 3, David Sinclair.
Yes.
District 4, Amy Smith.
Yes.
District 5, Carolyn Rutherford.
Yes.
District 6, John Flood.
No.
That is a 5-1 vote to table the motion. The motion is hereby tabled. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to enter into executive session. Motion. I have a second.
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Glenn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. And we'll return in about 10 minutes.
In the ladies' room.
John's talking to the sheriff. He could have.
You ready? You still waiting on Karen?
She's coming out with you.
That's what I need to do.
I'm not gonna start around.
I was trying to get in there. She put me out.
I mean, you go next time. He won't be right here much longer than that. There we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we were in executive session, no votes were held. Do I have a motion to exit executive session? Motion from John Flood, second by Ms. Carolyn. Are there, any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. And it is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, you did hear us table a motion, and so I want to kind of relate what does that table mean. It was tabled by council pending more and further information. Therefore, what council has asked me to do is to work with the company and determine when they may want to create a town hall to answer more of council's questions and yours. So until that happens, the motion is dead. So that's what a table means. It is closed pending further information from the company. So with that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a motion from Councilman White, is that you? Yeah. Second by Councilman Sinclair. All those in favor, please stand up. We'll move over to our budget work session.
We're gonna take a break anytime.
Okay. Oh, yeah, y'all go ahead.
You go? You ain't going, I ain't waiting on
Yeah, so council had questions that they have not answered. So until they give us an answer, we ain't moving forward. They answer our questions, and we can have a public hearing. They can give us answers. Well, the purpose of us moving from here to Johnson is much bigger. It will hold 400 people out there. We should hold 400 people. Yeah, we probably will. Probably fill up the stadium. I'm fine. How about you? Good. Good to see you. I love your shirt. Go Cox. Yeah, go Cox. no, we got budget work session after here. Yeah, we're gonna finalize the budget, I hope. I hope, anyway. No. I got a chance to talk to the president. He's a good guy.
get started on budget session.
Can you do that? A little bit, I'll do that.
I had packed up, I was ready to go. Now I gotta open the stuff back up.
Okay. Call to order. Do we have any recommendations based on the outside agencies that we need to talk about?
I recommend that we do the CD proposal for as far as collecting the taxes, since we basically passed through anyway.
And it doesn't cost us anything.
Right.
Can I ask y'all to add that to the old agreement that we have was done in the 80s, and it was for vehicles for 35 cents per. Can I get council to consider $2 across the board? That fee needed to go up anyways. And so we will just do $2 across the board for real estate and for automobiles.
For all agencies.
Oh,
Jonesville, Wapsie.
Yeah, for all three cities.
All should read the same.
That's
I need a motion to that effect, please.
I got a question. Why they got write $12,000 down here for the city? What was that?
what I thought they
discussion
said.
about?
That would have been the amount of money on real estate only countywide.
So what is the
what's
amount?
the new total then?
The new total is probably gonna be somewhere around $30,000 a year, 25 to 30.
That's a lot.
So do we need to subtract that out of this amount?
No. It's basically, you're losing money at 35 cents doing it as you're doing it with vehicles. There's probably twice the number of vehicles than you're gonna have on property. We're sending this out anyways, and I do not have that number, Councilman Bright, I apologize. I will get y'all that exact right figure. I can have that done. But you are losing money. Your postage is higher than that, sending your tax bill.
I think what Councilman Glenn is asking is, that 30,000, is it gonna come out of this 151 or?
No, absolutely not. No, this is the city tax. All we're going to do is be passed through for the municipality taxes for cars and for real estate. We're already doing the figures anyways, so we just collect all the money and then turn around and send the money back.
Chairman Flood, I'll make a motion to what Supervisor said.
The supervisor said that it should be billed at $2 per transaction, correct?
Correct.
Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Sinclair, motion by Danny Wright. All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. All right.
I'll make a motion to give 58,000 that the rescue squad asked for.
I'll say.
Okay, I need to hear what y'all saying.
The rescue squad, 58,000 from rescue squad?
They asked for 58,350. Got a motion and a second.
You said rescue squad, you want to make a motion to give them what?
58,
What they asked for in their presentation.
pretty much.
58.
Let me
58
hear
even?
that go through.
We going 58 even or we putting change on it?
I had 59, but, I mean,
Let me make the motion,
What
give
they got?
me a number.
58,350.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve them for $59,000, not to exceed that. And hopefully they'll stay under that.
Do I have a second on David's motion for 59,000?
I second.
Second by Councilman Glenn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Unanimous. All right.
And I'm sure they'll spend 58,999 out of that.
Yeah, I know leadership. Sorry.
I'll make a motion to give the rest, or divide the rest of unallocated up to the home rule fire departments, pending that they will not raise their millage rate.
So what you saying, we should cut out all outside agents?
The rest are outside, all the rest of it's left, be divided up between the home rule fire departments,
You be to who?
home rule fire departments, or fire departments.
For them to take my money?
Do I have a second on that?
Can you explain a little bit better first?
I'm not going to.
What means you're gonna cut historical NAACP, Sisters, Clemson, Robin Hood, and Council on Aging? Do I have a second on his motion?
Can I ask a question first?
Go,
Sir?
ask it.
So, I don't have no problem with what he's asking. Can we have legislation or put everybody on notice that this will be the last year for outside agents, and then we do that then?
That's fine.
Well, we
I
got-
think we've done it a couple of years in a row, and then we still
Well,
haven't.
Danny's motion would be pending that the fire departments agreed not to raise their taxes.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, no, I didn't understand that,
We'd
but
have to do that in the coming year. I don't think we can, there's not enough time for all of our boards to meet.
is that something we gotta collect the information on first?
We're gonna finish this budget up here before we set the millage. Set the millage in, is it July, August?
Well, September, actually.
So they got plenty of time. Millage is September.
Again, you're gonna be cutting historical, NAACP, Sisters, Clemson, Robin Hood, and Council on Aging.
I don't really want to cut the Clemson extension in 4-H because there's so many kids that you need to do the 4-H.
I agree 100%.
Ain't none of our senior citizens.
Now, I'll ask a final time, do we have a second on Danny's motion? It dies for a lack of a second.
I make a motion that we fund Clemson extension and 4-H, $21,000 that they asked for.
A second by Councilman, Amy Smith.
Clinton, 21,000.
All in favor? John?
Aye.
Carries 100%.
All right, so where we at now money-wise? Let's see where we're at.
Let me, how much did you?
21,000.
We're up to
For
80.
4-H and the Clemson extension.
Who owns those buildings?
County.
The county. Who does the repairs to the building if it needs it?
Now, the Clemson extension one, they have got Clemson to do some things. I mean, I think they put.
Most of the
more money in.
time, it is us, what we're giving them money for is utilities.
Right.
We wouldn't have an office, we would not have an office, 4-H or a Clemson extension office in Union if we did
I'm
not.
not going with no.
Well, I'm glad you brought it.
Setting 4-H aside, what services does Clemson Extension offer that somebody can't do on their own?
Organized, they do, what is that, blacksmithing, they do.
That's 4-H. I'm
But
talking
that's-
just the Clemson Extension excluding 4-H.
That is part of.
Yeah, I know, but if you exclude 4-H, what does Clemson Extension Services offer?
I know they do.
Well, we don't have the entire office and all that staff and
They
just.
do soil samples, for testing to see what sort of fertilizers or
That they do.
treatments you
Yeah,
have.
they do that, but you can do that on your own. You can get a kid offline and do it. I mean, you pay a staff to do something you do on your own.
We had a second motion and it passed.
Yeah, it's passed.
Okay. What's next on the horizon?
I make a motion that we give the sisters and brothers on the move the $2,000 they asked for.
The sisters on the move.
Sisters and brothers on the move.
They have brothers on there.
No, they exclude the brothers, it's just sisters on the move, but that's okay.
That was not what was on this paper?
Oh, well, sisters on the move.
What is that?
And you got, basically,
What is that?
Yeah, they check, when they presented to us, they
Top.
put
Yeah, because
sisters
they
and
got
brothers.
men.
Oh, actually, I don't know, but I mean, that's the way it's on our
Yeah,
presentation.
but that's what's on our presentation, the sisters and brothers on the move.
I know the sisters are the ones that do it.
Yeah, I know it. I was shocked when I seen brothers on there too, because I never seen no brothers on there.
Motion from Councilman Gwynn for $2,000. Do I have a second for sisters on the move? Sisters and brothers on the move.
Second.
Got a second by Carolyn. Do I have a vote?
Vote? Oh, you want roll call?
For $2,000.
Yeah, that's fine.
Everybody say aye.
All ayes. Carries unanimous.
I make a motion that we give the NAACP, we gave them $1,500 last year, they asked for $4,200 this year. I'll make a motion that we give them $2,000, just like we give Sisters on the Move.
Second.
Motion, Councilman Sinclair, second by Ms. Brother. Vote, say aye.
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Unanimous. What's up down there?
Okay, I make a motion that we give, Rockwood Group the $3,000 extra.
I don't think they need that $3,000, they already got a cover over that.
That was the plastic one. The plastic over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I went out there and took pictures. I sent y'all all the pictures,
That's
but
what I
they
heard.
look like the plastic already been replaced.
Just for history's sake, we've asked them to give us a copy of their financials like we request all organizations, fire departments, rescue squad, and I don't know, Councilman, now 5.5 years, I've yet to see the first financial, so kind of.
Because last year when I took these same pictures and I saw them fill the plastic was tore off and it had waist high grass in it. Now this year when I went back and took them pictures, they can clean it up, they can put those planters in there and the plastic have been replaced. So I don't know why she need $3,000 to replace the plastic.
So do I have a motion that they not get funded for?
We didn't get a second.
No, you just move on, go to the next
All
time.
right, move on. 0. Okay, that leaves us with
Historical Society and Council on Aging.
Historical Society. I'll just give my bias. Council gave them $600,000, was it, Philip? Mr. Russell?
275 plus 50, so
$25,000.
$325,000.
And they got the house on the market for $900,000. Even if they don't get the $750,000. I'm looking for a motion.
And there's a process of moving. So,
And
I don't know, I mean, I'm all for history and all for preserving all of our history that we have, but I'm a little up in the air on exactly what their new look and deeds are gonna be once they move to the new facility.
Have they done any fundraisers?
No.
wow.
And the thing is, we as a county have approached them about coming under the county, and they rebuffed that pretty hard. And I don't, I have, again, no financials on that organization. I don't know what they have in the bank. And, I have issues with that. They have $1 million out there that we don't know about.
Don't they have money somewhere in Spartanburg in an account?
They do, at the Spartanburg Foundation. That's how they buy this building.
And plus Cross Keys property is on the market for like $900,000.
Yeah, like I said, even if I get $750,000, that's $750,000. That also more than $1 mill.
Yeah, but we ain't getting nothing out that deal.
No, that's it. That's
We didn't get
all
nothing,
property.
there's no clawback.
Yeah, there was, when the original vote happened to procure that property, there was no clawbacks. I would, from reading the past minutes, I would see where there was a thought by the council at that time that that property would be owned for perpetuity, but that was never stated, nor was it codified, or did we have any clawbacks to those funds. So, in essence, they own the property outright.
Yeah.
See, that property needs to be their fundraiser. They could rent that property out every weekend and make a ton of money as a venue.
Well, they have to have a place to store all that stuff they got. I don't know if you've been in the Historical Society, all the money's attacked.
I'm talking
No,
about,
he's the
I'm talking about the Cross Keys house.
Oh,
That
yeah,
should be
yeah,
their
yeah.
fundraiser. They could rent that out every weekend as a venue.
I do think that there going to be I love history. I'm supportive of their efforts. I am. I think what we're probably doing is more looking towards the tactics that has been more of the problem than the actual goal. And if y'all were to fund them and provide guidance to that to get the right goals, I will be glad to sit down with that we have this provided that.
I just make a motion, we leave him at the same $10,000 we gave him last year.
Floyd.
Can I make a suggestion? I want council on aging funded.
So do I.
And, you know, I think if we put them, they don't have the best presentation in the world.
He ain't got no presentation. I've been sitting here 3 years and he ain't brought one yet. And we tell all these other agents, you gotta bring a presentation with an itemized budget, a breakdown, what you spending our money for. And every single time, now granted, I feel sorry for him, he's up there emotional because of his wife, but this is my third budget session and I ain't seen nothing from him yet. So to me, if he ain't got no budget, he shouldn't get no dollars, but I'm not that type of selfish person. He should get something, but we should not give him the whole $60-some thousand that he wants, because we don't know what he's spending the money on.
I'm chairman, can't make a motion. So
I make
can
a
ask
motion that we give him $60,000. He take very good
Is it
care
left?
of the seniors. I mean,
60.
I make a motion.
We don't, there's not enough money in there.
How much is left here?
I was supposed to say, I don't think there's much
151
left.
minus 84, yeah, there is.
Based on what y'all have approved right now, you got $67,857 remaining.
So we do have the money.
I make a motion for 40.
Okay, I got a motion for 6 to begin with. I gotta ask for a second. And I can't make it.
I don't know, I mean, $60,000.
He needs to bring
Where
the
are we
budget.
funding that much?
I'm kinda like Councilman Glenn, he needs to do a presentation. I mean, is some of their downfalls like the management, I ain't seen them buy, I like the guy. But we've been here all this time, we didn't have a presentation.
So we had a first from Miss Carolyn, we didn't get a second, so that was dropped. I make a motion, well, John's gonna make one, but I make a motion we implement what we did last year, $30,000.
I second that.
Until he can come forward with a presentation to warrant why he needs more money.
And I second that too. If he run out of money, we should help him.
I have a first and I have a second. Can I have a vote?
What was that?
How much was
We
it?
got 5.
30,000.
$30,000.
But if he
Now,
runs
if
out of
comes
money
back
and
and
needs
gives us
help,
a decent presentation, it's a whole different can of worms. We can
Did
reconsider.
everybody vote in favor of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Carolyn.
I did not myself.
So, 5-4, 1 against.
so 30,000.
So that still leaves us with $37,000.
I make a motion, we put the rest of it in the capital fund.
Can I ask you to modify that, sir? Can we just put it into like a reserve in case he comes back and give you the money? Is that?
Can we do that? Is
Can
that
we
allowed?
if you put it in council contingency, that way, council has the authority only to spend those funds.
Yes. So we can do that.
Yeah.
If he falls short, he need extra help, and he come to us and need more money, we will have the money to give him.
What did we give the historical society?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, can you do, in the form of a motion, I think John's
So-
motion was to put the remainder of 67,151 or whatever it was in a council contingency.
That'd be 37,800. I think.
Okay, I'm sorry, you're right.
I'm just glad for once we ain't spending it all.
Do I have a second on John? Second by Mr. Sinclair. Do I have a vote? Ms. Carroll, a vote approved? Unanimous on that one. Okay, that deals with all the outside agencies.
So is that the same if we put it in, if we put this money in council contingency, any outside agent come and they need some help, we would have some extra money to help. So in that the case, if Farmers Market Enterprise come and tell us about
Where she spent money and where she money's going, coming.
well, she got the plastic from the door on her building that she spent some money that she didn't have and need a reimbursement, is that the same thing as?
I still want a full budget. I mean, I've asked for it for years and years and years, and I've yet to get it.
Yeah, nobody, neither one of those gave us a budget.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
Anything else we want to discuss in the general budget that we have concerns about?
Okay.
I have one thing I would like to ask for.
What's that?
Right now, tentatively, we've set our county employees at 3%. I'd like to change it to 5%. The reason being, we're falling behind with our employees. And when we fall behind, we lose them, and that costs us significant dollars, particularly in the training positions, being us fire, even administrative staff at the courthouse. And I don't like turnover. Miss Kendra gave me a number. I wish she would regurgitate how much am I actually increasing the budget by. I got two numbers written down, I can't remember.
I have to pull mine.
I think one was 301 and the other one was 261 that I have written down, but I didn't write myself down notes.
Dollars, hundreds of thousands.
About 200,000, but 150,000 I think is the difference.
I'm pretty sure that number was 261 to 265,000 from 3% to 5%.
Okay, so it's the full 261, okay.
Do we have is the money there?
All right, so the only way that the money would be there is I told council in an email and last week that we had paid off 8 bonds this past year, and that we were going to be able to roll back tax millage 5.2 debt service mills. So in other words, citizens would see that reduction. We would need to move, I think it's the equivalent of 3.6, and y'all have to excuse me if I'm wrong, it may be closer to 3.8 mills. We would have to move it from debt service to operation. And well, I had to do quick math up here, so thanks, John, appreciate it. Then we would be able to roll back. It would still be 1.4 mills we'd roll back. We wouldn't go up, but council would have to approve to transfer the debt millage to operation millage.
So what are we comparing this increase to another county that's paying more than us, that's doing better than us? How we come up with an extra 5% when we've been giving them raises every single year to keep them caught up?
Yeah, but our raises has been less than the cost of living increase, so we're still falling back.
Yes.
We did the compensation study and we brought everybody up to the medium, if I remember correctly. Is that right, Ken? Pretty much. But we still have had
That's
trouble.
explaining it.
Right.
Yeah,
We still have had trouble retaining employees because they still really are medium.
See, to me, that's the study. If they still coming and going, we ain't paying them.
But that's what
So
I'm saying.
when we did the big pay increase, it was the catch-up.
It was a improvement.
It was designed in, we had those funds and we need to reinvest. They had only had, inflation had gone up 18%, and they had only had 9.25% interest, or interestless income raise. So what that 9 did was get them where they needed to be. It basically got them to the 18%. Talking about the study plan, we're at about in a position where next year, not this year, but next year, we will be able to cut out the entry level and go to the midpoint, and the midpoint become the new starting range. That's where we feel like we're getting good at, because we do have a lot of people that are stable. Yes, we do have some natural transition. We have people that retire, we have people that move on, we have seasonal work that come and go. Timken Park, voter registration, you're going to see a lot of that this year with voter registration. I am seeing some slowdown to that transient nature in our workforce, but I will say we are not where we would like to be, and I'm sure that, sheriff's deputies, EMS, these guys, if they can find $1 more an hour somewhere else, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go. So The benefit here of giving them 5%, and I didn't propose this, John did.
We just had a recommendation, right?
Yeah, that's right. John's recommendation, if you did this, we still get to roll back taxes anyways. Probably about $100,000.
I think you roll back taxes, we get 5% rate, I see it as a win-win.
I'll make a motion that we proceed forward with that.
Philip, look at it. Do you advertise these jobs and you just pick some random people? How do y'all hire people?
We put them on our website. I'm afraid to say this for the newspaper representative here, but our newspaper is circulated between about 20% of the population, or 20% of the housing population in our county. So we rely on our website and we rely on Facebook and posting those jobs out. That's how we do it. It does get a lot of interest, and we've been getting a lot more applications when we have jobs open. You go look now, we don't have that many jobs open.
Well, the other thing is the sheriff's office does, for lack of a better word, a recruiting fair periodically, because he particularly wants females and minorities. And he's kind of hit a wall with those. But, you know, I've never seen someone say they're not interested in working for government. The question is, A, do they have skills? B, are they trainable? And some of our candidates just don't cut the mustard. So, you know, Kendra has to look through a stack and, you know, see who to pass on to the department heads to say, yeah, this is about.
Just to be clear on that, I do not make that decision. I don't screen them.
That's correct.
Department heads get everything.
Everything? Okay.
That's correct. The department heads get everything. They get to go through them. That is their job. Department head, it is their job to hire. The only thing that I hire is department heads.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, if you put it on something like Indeed, you'll get so many stupid applications, it's ridiculous. I will never use Indeed ever again, because they charge you by the application they give you. And the person could have zero skills to take the job. So I would personally vote against ever using one of those services, because they're expensive too.
I agree with Danny. I mean, I think it's a win-win. I mean, we had the bond proceeds that are going to come off, which is going to alleviate 5%. And then you're going to go from 3 to 5 and still going to save 1% or 1.5 million. So I think it's a win.
I have a motion by David Sinclair. Do I have a second? Second by Andy Smith. Do I have a vote? All say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimous. Any other budgetary?
I like to suggest that we take the full-time department head of land use code management off until we pass a land use code.
I was planning on bringing that up, Councilman. I don't know where we got that from. I told y'all we wouldn't hire this job until the land plan was passed. That was up to council. It's only there should council decide it wants a land use plan. Now, once that is approved and third reading is handled in an ordinance, at that point in time, we would put out a job description because they got a lot to get together to go to building. But there is no intent in me hiring that until it is planned. There's no reason to have that.
John, can you modify that to say until land use has been approved that,
By council.
that it is restricted, cannot be hired?
So I'd like to make a motion that the full-time department head land use code manager not be hired until the land use ordinance is approved by council.
Do I have a second for John's motion?
I got questions.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I got questions.
A second too. Go ahead with your questions.
Well, I don't know if this is the time for the question, because my question is about, I just want to know what all falls up under this department. Do building inspections fall up under this department? Do we still need to, once we get this person, are we still going to have to contract out building inspections?
Yes.
So what, that building inspector be like a contractor that works for this person?
Correct. And what they would do is manage the contract.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Once we get ready to move forward to hire this person, will we review the job qualifications, the duties, what they'll be doing, and council approve that?
Yeah, you can approve department head, a job description, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that coming before council. I mean, 'cause I'm thinking, the way I'm seeing it, I think you're gonna tell me I'm right, I think, we just set the money aside right now.
That's all we've done.
Later, when it's time to create that position.
Let me tell you this, land use is probably gonna be about as hard as a data center, folks. And, the only reason that I put the job out there is because I knew planning was, matter of fact, the next night, they presented the land use plan to council. All I was doing was my job of looking ahead. Now, if council does not approve that, then there's no need to change.
So we're just security funds, and we, as council, can create that position.
Yes.
So we still have to create it, like make, job qualifications and job qualification, and how do we determine what the pay is? Is that something you guys up against?
I will take care, we'll create the job description and we'll run it by our comp plan to determine where it fits in the comp plan. Yes. So there will be an advertised starting pay, mid pay, or what we call market pay. And so you'll see that range, and that's based on experience. And then once y'all like it, then it'll go out.
I got a question, and you may have already hit on this, but since this will be a newly created position, will council not have to approve a newly created position?
That's the reason I was in this budget. That's what it's here for.
We ain't just allocating the money, we're actually saying that
You're-
there will be a position created if the land ordinance is passed.
If it passed.
Right.
We got some work to do on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in that land use, this will be the time to put in there, well, we can put some restrictions on data center if they just have them wants to come in the union, right?
That's correct.
Right now, you have no restrictions. If they want to build this.
If this company wanted, they were here for a FILO request to go from 6% to 4%. That's all they were asking council.
10% and 6%.
4 or 6.
So they would be 6. They were asking us to get them an approval for 4.
Okay.
All right, so data centers are not taxed. They're taxed just like warehouses. They're not manufacturing. They're not 10.5%. So they are typically 6, unless they're putting at least $400 million in investment. Then, with $400 million in investment, they can come and ask for a FILO. That would have been all we were approving anyways. Had the company decided they would pay 6% and didn't want a fee in lieu of, which is going to be, I would think, somewhere in the neighborhood of saving about $3 million a year if they got a FILO. Paying us around 5.5 to 5.8 million a year. And again, I have been very careful with those numbers because I don't have a document created by an attorney yet that we can put out to everybody and say, here it is.
It's the FILO for 40 years.
40.
4-0.
40.
Have we ever FILO'd anybody that long?
Yes, yes, my coworkers.
That's
That's a standard term.
Yeah.
So that's not out the norm.
No, that is, yeah, that's right, it's not a standard
It's
term.
about 40 years, too long is nothing, no different we done done for anybody else.
There are percentage increases in there, and there's expansion increases in there. There are some opportunities for that income to grow. But if they just say completely stagnant, which I doubt very seriously any industry is making money is going to stay completely stagnant, you would see some lull in that.
Which brings up another issue that we can discuss at another time. I mean, if we're already having this much concern over a 49 megawatt data center, do we want them to become a 70 or 100?
Well, I've already talked to Supervisor Russell about that. I want some restrictions that they have to come back before us with each growth pattern, because I don't want a COLR where it started out as 1,000 megawatt and it's now up to 1,400 megawatt. I have issues with that because I think what was done at Culver is underhanded as crap.
If it even goes through and passes, then I say there's got to be a lot of built-in controls in their fee load.
Or just not.
It can't be just a standard fee load, like they gonna come in and spend X amount of dollars in the next 10 years and they get another adjustment.
Well, also got to remember, because of the numbers, they're not going to get any job creation credits. Is that what it's called?
SSRC, that's correct. So
They won't get job creation.
Which brings up another issue that I have. We're letting a company come in that's gonna invest that kind of money on it, but it really doesn't nothing for our residents other than saves on tax-based money.
Correct.
there's 50 more jobs than we had. I'm not,
Those 50 will come from Union.
that's up to the plant. I can't answer that
I'm gonna
question.
say it, I mean, we know that those are gonna be IT jobs, so the chances
You know,
of.
they've got, well, you say that, believe it or not, we have an AI class in our high school right now, teaching juniors and
Yeah, I
seniors.
was finna say, we have some AI.
I'm saying we ain't had none, I'm just saying our 50 Union residents gonna get
What the
hired.
guy told us from the company said if he could pull someone out of Best Buy and train them to run that 42 hours.
Correct.
That's what he
He's
said.
told us that, but do we have that in
Yeah,
writing?
exactly, I'm with you there.
Well,
You ain't gonna get anything.
and that's the one reason why, it's good to have these meetings, but to have the back and forth, because I think the plant is even, the electrical provider go, where did we go wrong? And I do think that there are some definite questions that I think council has and I think our public has.
I mean, honestly, I'm not interested in where did we go wrong with Lockhart Power. I love our relationship we have with them, but this is Union County, we're the governing body of Union County, they gotta make us happy. And to make us happy, they're gonna have to make the citizens that we represent happy.
Well, they can't let council drive the project for them, and I'm glad y'all did not.
Well, but the bigger issue is, and one of the things that you and I have said, there's two things in Union people don't like, the way it is and change. Well, come on, guys. You know, we have got to change to move forward.
Is there one county that a data center's been up and operational in, that county will look at that data center, or let me not say the governing body, because obviously they're gonna say, yeah, we like the tax revenue. But is there a county out there that has a data center that's been established there that says that data center's been good for my county? The citizens. not-
Actually, Dalton does have that on his.
Yes.
So is there one close by we can go visit?
Yeah, it's in North Carolina.
And Saluda's got one there.
Can we take it for with a closed loop? With a closed loop?
It's a meta facility. Dalton's got information. Y'all wanna do a site visit, we can make that happen.
Yeah, let's arrange a field trip.
The only thing I ask for, and this is what I ask for, and this is the way I stated it. Somebody can call me tomorrow and say, I need you to put a flyer together and tell me everything they think our money is. And I can say, okay, these are my statistics. I've come up with them. I can make them say whatever I want them to say. The only thing I asked for on this new project was data from a third-party source. Did they have anything from whoever's gonna be the power supplier? Did they have anything from them saying that this is what amount of power we can supply, and this is the most we can ever supply? And then how much water are we gonna use in a worst-case scenario? I mean, we don't have those.
I thought all that question was answered in
That's
this.
their answers.
Yeah, that's their
That's
answer.
right.
I think what David's saying is where's the proof? Back it up with data.
Yeah,
I can't see it up right there with
backed
data.
up with data. I mean, like I said, I could create one of them for my shop and tell you that I'm the best shop in the Union County. But it'd just be my opinion.
It's a pretty good opinion, by the way.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, they're not. Ward is better.
One of the
Just
things
kidding.
I know you are, buddy.
I will share with the council is I think it's time to try to call folks who don't have a dog in the fight. A young man who used to live here in Union, he now lives in Wisconsin, don't ask me where, but he lives in Wisconsin, he was in Chicago. But he is a incredibly well-known physics person and chemistry person to the point where he's got doctorates in both of them. Went to DePaul University, and his only question was about power and water. When I told him to close loop using ionized water, which has to be trucked in because that's an alkaline water.
So they will not be using water, the base salt, their base chemical will not be water from our water lines.
Correct. He said that already.
I mean, I heard him
He
say
said
that. I
has to truck it in because it's ionized, alkalinized, to protect their equipment. The second one is, I pointed out that Lockhart Power gave us assurances, and I talked to him again tonight. And he said there would never be a brownout for residential customers.
I understand he's saying that.
I told him I wasn't
Lockhart Power does not produce but a small percentage of their power. In my opinion, I would say we need something from Duke that says, we guarantee you we're gonna be able to supply this amount of power.
And for me, it would be a case of, I want to put it in Philo, and even he pointed out that Public Service Commission may not allow that, but I don't know the nuance of the law, and that's something that, quite frankly, Philip needs to ask our attorneys, can we put that in Philo?
I just say this, our state legislators are concerned enough to where they're trying to pass something pausing the creation of data centers pending more research. I'm not smarter than them.
Well, yeah, I am.
What I saw, they was concerned about the data center saying we're gonna build this, and then once it approved,
Hey, gang, I hate to interrupt. I'm just sitting here listening, having fun, but can we get back on the budget if y'all don't mind?
I need to say one more thing. Okay, now, the water, where did they tell y'all the water was coming?
They're gonna bring it in when they
Trust me.
But I'm saying from where?
Texas. Right over here.
Well, let's truck it in from the city of Union, because they can't.
No. I'm
It was
saying
Charlotte or
that
Atlanta,
right
I can't
there.
remember which.
they said Charlotte or Atlanta.
No, they told me Texas.
So I thought
And Andy said he told her Texas.
I'm pretty sure they said.
So that's what
I
I'm
don't think
saying.
it really matters, just ain't using our ground.
But no, what I'm saying is that, they talking about Georgia now. No, I'm just, I mean, when everybody get on court here, we'll talk about it. All right, carry on.
Can't disagree with you.
This would ain't me, this was John.
Are there, did we vote on the 5%?
Yeah, you were unanimous.
Any other modifications? John Bass over there in left field somehow.
No, I mean, we was on the land use manager, and I
You
don't
were
know.
not on land use.
This back to there. All right.
Back to the budget, any other modifications?
These other jobs is part-time, part-time and full-time in the VA office.
Yes, ma'am.
You already hired somebody for that?
We already have a part-time employee who's working there. The goal is to take her from part-time to full-time.
You
That's
send
correct.
me? Send me for it?
No, ma'am. Miss Cindy retired, and the new young lady's a wonderful young lady. She's been working with us now about a year and a half, and it's just the value. I actually have a email that I asked Daniel to send me, and he did, and I'm not prepared to find it right this very second. But the millions of dollars that they have brought in for veterans in Union County, it's astounding when you begin to take a look at the volume of work they do.
But they need a raise in the VA office too, is that, when I found out what they making out, that's sad.
They're partially funded by,
That's sad.
No, they should be, if the state does as they propose, already made it through the House, the Senate's got it, and Sendai is May 14th, so it's already on the other side of the aisle. The hope is the state is going to fund both of those positions. So if that's the case, we actually can save a little bit of revenue because the state's going to pick it up, 2 full-time slots. But if they don't, we still need to add that other position. Right now, the state is only funding our VA office at $5,400 a year. And that's every VA office in the state is getting that little bit. And it's costing us somewhere in the neighborhood of $190,000 to $200,000 a year to fund it.
Okay, now, replace the public work contractor with a full-time employee.
Yes, ma'am.
You got somebody for that position?
We have not put out for it, no ma'am. This was Rusty. I think most of y'all know Rusty in here. He's been a contractor. He's leaving. And as I stated, don't get me wrong, I understand there are some contractors out there, but I like a full-time employee that can work when we need them to work. especially in this job. So all I'm asking for here in the budget was to take what was a contractor and move it to a full-time job.
Does that include some increased funds?
We've already got it covered in the budget, but yeah, you'll have benefits. A contractor doesn't get any benefits. They do not get any help, they don't get any retirement, this new position would.
But we have very little control.
Correct, well, with a contractor, you can't set their work schedule, they can't supervise people, there's a lot of things that they can't do, but as an employee, they can.
This is not a department head position?
No, it is not, just this position will work for Michael, just like Rusty presently does.
Okay.
Any other questions, Ms. Carolyn? Any more questions on positions?
No.
Okay. You had more around, keep it with you, baby.
No.
She said she's hungry.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Are we going to go over any of the ordinance changes?
The only ordinance change that was put in there other than the dates is in last year's budget ordinance amendment, it stated that we will put 500 and all others would go into council capital. I asked for that to be changed from will to may to let council have more say-so of what goes into fund balance versus what goes into capital. Basically, I felt a little hamstrung this year because of the ordinance that we all created. And we put a lot in council capital. We're going to need it. It all works out. The animal shelter bid came back at $5 million. That was the low bid. Now we're still quantifying those. And so money in council capital is going to help us build that. The only change in the budget amendment or the budget ordinance document was 500, at least 500 may. You can always put more.
I just thought that would clean up some language.
Do we need to vote on that?
Well, you will when
That's the first
you
thing.
do that when you're doing in the budget.
In section 14, $50,000 going to the Union County Fair Board, hospitality and aid tax funds. The aid tax committee vote on that?
A tax committee is not created at this time.
Oh, okay. So that's something that's still working?
Yes, yes, it is. A&D, well, I asked them to prioritize and
Danny, where you at?
in the budget ordinance document.
Yeah, there was $50,000 that come from hospitality. It's on page 5.
14.
Yeah, section 14. At the bottom of section 14.
Is it in the book?
Y'all may not have the budget ordinance with you. We sent it to them email, but I don't know if you got it or not.
I printed it out, marked it up, made notes. It's there and compared.
It's in your April packet, if you got that in your email.
I don't really think it's a big deal. We've been doing that.
We gave the fairground, and I came through a number of different items that we just treated as government. And the fairground being one, we have given them for the past 3 years, $50,000. I included that in this year's budget. We've all met with them. We know it's hard for them to put on a fair and maintain a fairground at the same time. And these funds coming out of hospitality and accommodations are there for this purpose, and it has helped them make a tremendous amount of improvements to the fairground. And I just thought it was the right thing to continue doing.
I didn't really have a problem with it. I just think I can't remember because I haven't went back and read it again. When I read the tax committee law, it said something about they would approve funds and present them.
They would once we have one. What I asked our attorneys to do, we're finishing up on alcohol and drug abuse, and then the next we would go to would be creating the 501c3 and the bylaws and rules for the fair board. And that was I'm going to have to look at council to help and sit down with the fair board and to come up with, as a working committee, what those rules, chart fees, and all those things are going to be. I knew that was going to be a much bigger project, so I tried to get A&D.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I was just going to get straight about the tax committee and what they do. I didn't realize. I thought we already.
Phil, I do have one more question. How much do we fund the chamber?
$25,000.
Are we getting our money's worth out of the
Sure, I agree with that, but go.
I know, I'm asking. I mean, that's a question. I don't know.
I'm going to give it to y'all as a better judge than I spent a lot of time working with economic development. I think the young lady they have working over there, Angela, is a wonderful person. But I can't answer that question. Y'all are gonna have to answer that
Retail
one.
strategy, do you still have them?
Retail strategies, yes, sir, we sure do.
It's almost like it's some of the same work to be done
Well,
between, I know.
retail gets
us.
us, retail gets us to people we otherwise wouldn't get to. And they've done a really good job of getting out and bringing things to Union and creating conversations. They help us a lot, even though we do not have a hotel, they're still helping us a lot into that venue. I think our Timken Park expansion is going to help tremendously with that. But I got to turn that over to y'all. Do you think we're getting our money's worth out of it? They represent every small business in the county.
Well,
We may need to
that
pay
on
attention
paper,
to them.
don't kid yourself. A little side note, the city has hired a person to coordinate stuff in the downtown district. That came out of the conversation at the coffee shop a little earlier today. Who I've seen over in Woodruff. They've done the same thing, hired a young lady. Has to do with them joining two organizations at the state level that require someone to be hired to basically promote downtown and make sure that the events that are held are properly planned, which has not happened in the past. It's been a little happenstance, like last event we had downtown, they put a coffee vendor across the street from the coffee shop, and there was nothing to drink on the other end where all the food was. And if that makes sense to somebody, please explain it to me, because it doesn't make any to me.
You just want all the coffee in one spot.
Yeah, I think he kind of depends on some of those things too, the existing coffee shop.
You know, we need to promote our local people
Yeah,
instead
he
of
needs
trying to
that.
drive around with a trailer.
He needs to get prioritized everywhere.
And, you know, it's, we got to talking about this earlier. There was a great little steak place down here on the side of the street. Great food, and I had a little girl from Congress that played piano on Friday and Saturday and sometimes on Sunday. Great little place to eat, but they ain't squat down here to eat anymore. You go to Woodruff, they got 5 restaurants. And Woodruff is,
They got a nice
My home
main
opinion.
street in Woodruff.
they do now, they took a lot
Main
of
Street Woodruff didn't start booming until,
the last 5 years.
until they, B&W started putting the battery factory there.
Yeah.
Nah,
So I mean, we get
it was something
It was coming.
before the battery
not
plant.
very much though.
I drive through there every day for the last past 7 years.
I've been there a lot too, going to Greenwood.
But, you know, the thing is, I think
They
we're
had a
taking,
little more on Main
the
Street.
point about
Oh, yeah,
the
that's,
statements were, I think we're taking steps in the right direction. I don't think all of our constituents realize that the little steps we're taking, we're looking for fruit down the road a little bit. It's, a farmer doesn't plant a seed and the next day go harvest it. You have to plant a seed and
If we,
do what you have to do to get it to grow.
Mr. Chairman, if y'all are at the point, do y'all want to vote to, as a finance and administration, to adopt what you have as a committee to present to council in May?
I'm ready if y'all are.
I'm ready. I'm excited we didn't spend all the unallocated.
Motion from Ms. Smith, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Glenn, Mrs. Glenn, depending on who is dressed in today. Do I have a vote?
Miss, I got my counsel on.
Aye.
Everybody said
Passes
unanimous.
unanimous. Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Jordan, I have a motion